Hi, I'm Ruth and I'm 16. I had a younger sister. Kimberly was 6 years younger than me. We didn't have much in common and hardly ever hung out because of the age difference. My sister loved getting on my nerves and pulling all sorts of stunts. But let's start at the beginning. First, subscribe to the channel and like this video. I promise it's gonna be fun. I was an ordinary teenager. I went to school, hung out with my friends, and dated the most amazing guy on the planet. His name was Andrew. Look at him. He's a 10, right? I was young, but I felt like a responsible grown-up. That's why my reflection annoyed me. Even though I was pretty, it was obvious to anyone who saw my face or figure I was just a teenager. I compared myself to gorgeous Instagram models and dreamed of looking as grown up as them. I watched hundreds of makeup tutorials, put on bright makeup, and wore high heels. I even, please don't laugh, put socks in my bra. Now I look like $1,000,000. To be honest, I wore makeup because I was too self-conscious without it. I didn't want Andrew to see me like that, so my makeup bag became my best friend. My insufferable sister was always trying to copy me. Kimberly would steal my makeup and paint her face like she was the Joker.
Oh, I'm gorgeous!
Kimberly also took my clothes without permission and pretended she was a model on a catwalk. It always ended the same way.
Oops, it tore.
You little brat, what the heck are you doing?
Ah! King Kong went berserk! Help!
Ugh! It drove me nuts when she touched my stuff and tried to act like a grown-up, just like me. You're just a little girl.
No, I'm all grown up too, look! I want to wear makeup, go out with my friends, and date guys too!
What? No, Kimberly, you're still a little girl. Listen to your sister. Well, at least our parents were on my side. One day, I was chilling in my room when Andrew suddenly came over. Dang it, I couldn't let him see me without makeup on. I locked myself in the bathroom and frantically looked for my cosmetics. Meanwhile, Kimberly put on my dress, stuffed socks in it, and started to imitate me.
Andrew, look, I'm Ruth.
Oh no, I lost my sock. When I saw that scene, I wanted to slap the living daylights out of her, but Andrew calmed me down. Hey, don't be mad at her, it's just a joke. By the way, I came to tell you I won't be able to hang out with you tomorrow. What? Why? Brenda invited me to her birthday party. We can just go on a date some other time, right? Andrew and Brenda have been friends ever since they were kids. To be honest, I always felt jealous when they hung out, and I didn't want them to spend time together, especially when I wasn't there. That's why I said I'd come along. Andrew tried to convince me that I wouldn't like it there, but I insisted. Well, okay. See you tomorrow then. Andrew left. My gut was telling me that something was wrong. Why didn't he want me to come to the party? The next morning, Mom and Dad suddenly said they were leaving for the whole weekend and they asked me to look after Kimberly. Why did they have to leave that day of all days? I wasn't gonna miss Brenda's party for the world. Instead, I decided I would bring my sister with me. I spent the day getting ready, choosing clothes and putting on makeup. I wanted all eyes to be on me at the party. By the evening, I looked like an Instagram supermodel. The house was a mess by the time I was done though. There were face masks, clothes, and cosmetics strewn about everywhere. Kimberly must have gotten bored because she was playing bowling using Mom's vases as pins. Long story short, our house looked like it had been hit by a hurricane.
Mom and Dad are gonna crown us for life.
We'll deal with this later. The party's about to start. By the way, don't you dare embarrass me there. She promised to behave, but I knew her too well to believe that. As soon as we got to Brenda's place, I dragged Kimberly to a quiet room, handed her a toy, and told her to be quiet.
Toys are for little girls. I want to go to the adults' party.
No, you're still a little girl. I casually tossed the gift I brought for Brenda into the pile, and I went to say hello to everyone. It was a dull party. Everyone was just eating pizza, chatting, and listening to music. Meanwhile, Brenda was playing Twister with my boyfriend. They were standing so close to each other they were all but kissing. Ugh. Childhood friends with no feelings for each other didn't act like that. Jealousy made my blood boil, but I tried to stay calm and not ruin my makeup. Still, I had to teach Brenda a lesson. I pretended to yawn and said that this was the most boring party ever. Pizza, Twister, this is for kids. Let's have fun like adults. I started dancing and I knocked over the birthday cake. Everyone's jaws dropped, but I smiled innocently like I didn't mean to do it. Brenda, you're not upset, are you? I mean, only kids get excited about birthday cakes. There was a tense silence, and then Kimberly came out of the room I'd left her in. That naughty girl had put on Brenda's mom's clothes and shoes and tried to act like she was an adult.
What's up, folks? Let's let loose.
I wanted to sink through the floor. My sister wasn't used to wearing high heels and crashed right into the pile of gifts. Of course, she crushed them.
Oops, I didn't mean to.
Brenda started crying like a baby and said her birthday was ruined. Everyone glared at me. I knew it was a bad idea to invite you. Ruth, you and Kimberly should leave. Andrew kicked us out and stayed behind to comfort Brenda. Can you imagine how terrible that made me feel?
Ruth, why are we leaving already?
We were kicked out because of you. I told you to stay in that room and keep quiet.
Don't yell at me! I told you I didn't want to play with toys. Being treated like a little kid sucks.
You think being a kid is hard?
Of course it is. Everyone's always telling me what to do.
You're wrong. Being an adult, that's what's hard. I have to always look perfect, deal with relationship problems, and keep an eye on you, you naughty little monster. We kept arguing about who had it harder all the way home. When we saw the mess that we'd left behind, it became the last straw for us.
We need to clean this up before Mom and Dad get back.
That's when I got a brilliant idea. I decided to trick Kimberly. Let's try something. You're going to act like an adult, and I'm gonna act like a little girl. Whoever gets fed up with her role and gives up first will clean up as punishment. Deal? Kimberly was over the moon. Getting to act like an adult was her dream come true.
Deal!
The next morning, my sister put on my dress and smeared makeup all over her face. Meanwhile, I squeezed into her baby clothes and made silly ponytails. We looked ridiculous. It was like we were acting in a TV show in which an adult and a child swapped bodies. Let the game begin.
No, I wanted to say that. I'm the older sister now.
Whatever you say, big sis. I immediately took the situation under control and demanded to be treated like a little girl. I want pancakes with maple syrup.
Oh, but I can't.
I want pancakes. That worked. My sister stomped into the kitchen and started to fiddle with the stove. She immediately spilled the flour, broke all the eggs, and used half a pack of salt instead of sugar.
Done! Breakfast's ready.
What is this, an alien slug? I'm not eating that. No matter how hard Kimberly tried to coax me to eat, I kept demanding she make something else. Throwing a temper tantrum was awesome, but my sister was clearly getting sick of it. I thought she'd give up, but I was in for a surprise. Kimberly realized that since she was the older sister, she could boss me around. So she took my phone away and said I was too young to use Instagram.
Go to your room and put away your toys, young lady.
I don't even have any toys.
Then put away the toys in my room. Don't argue with me.
What a brat. The power had gone to her head pretty quickly, but I wasn't about to give up either. Okay, I'll do it. But you have to feed me first. I'm hungry and these pancakes are awful.
Okay, quit whining.
She opened the refrigerator and scratched her head in confusion.
We only have a frozen turkey here, and I don't know how to cook it.
Only an adult could handle that. Well, are you giving up?
Not for the world!
Instead, Kimberly took me to a cafe. I felt naked with no cosmetics on, so I created a light makeup look before leaving the house. I'm ready! We ordered a ton of delicious food and ate until we felt like we were going to burst. While Kimberly was finishing her dessert, I was trying to figure out a way to make her give up. That's when I suddenly heard familiar voices. I looked around and saw Andrew and Brenda at one of the tables. A strange woman in a ridiculous tacky suit was sitting next to them. Did she think she was still a kid or something? My heart sank when I heard what Andrew and Brenda were discussing. Ruth has totally lost it. You're right. We should teach her a lesson. Don't worry, sweethearts. I'll take care of it. Did you hear that? Not only were they talking about me behind my back, they were also planning on teaching me some sort of lesson. The suspicious trio left the cafe. I wanted to catch up to them, corner Andrew, and demand an explanation, but a waiter blocked my way when I reached the door. Hey, not so fast. Who's gonna pay? Oh, that's right. Kimberly probably hadn't brought any money. That was my chance to prove to my sister that being an adult was harder than she thought. I sneakily paid the waiter for our lunch, and I asked him to play along with me. My sister and I are gonna run out of here, and I want you to pretend like you're mad. Okay, I guess. I tried to look scared when I walked over to Kimberly. Hey, the waiter says we need to pay the bill. Did you bring any money?
Oh no! Mom and Dad always paid when we went to cafes. Do you have any cash with you?
Why would I? I'm just a kid.
What do we do then?
Run! I grabbed her arm and I started to pull her along. The waiter yelled after us just like I'd asked him to. Stop right there, I'll call the police. Hurry up, if we get caught, we'll end up in jail.
In jail?
For life.
Holy cow!
We ran home. Kimberly was so scared she locked the door when we arrived. I could barely hold back a smile. My sister looked miserable. I was sure that she was about to admit that being an adult was harder than being a kid. I wanted to win as soon as possible and confront Andrew the traitor. So I came up with another plan. I pretended like I wasn't feeling well and I asked Kimberly to look after me. I think I have a fever.
What should I do?
I don't know. You're the adult. Figure it out. My sister helped me lie down on the sofa and looked after me like a mother hen. I kept pretending like I was getting worse, but Kimberly didn't give up. She wrapped me in a blanket and then went to the kitchen to make me hot tea. All I had to do was lie there and wait for my sister to get tired of taking care of me. Kimberly's gonna run out of patience any moment now. I can feel it. Before I knew it, I fell asleep. When I woke up, it was already dark outside. Kimberly had left me a note. My heart sank when I realized she had left to get medicine for me. I looked at my watch and my blood ran cold. It was way too late for my little sister to be wandering around God knows where. I called Kimberly, worried out of my mind. Where are you?
Ruth, I was on my way to the pharmacy when a weird woman came up to me. She brought me to an amusement park and then left. The park is closed and there's no one here. I can't leave because all the gates are shut. I'm scared, Ruth.
You dummy. Why didn't you call me right away?
I wanted to get out of here by myself, like an adult.
Don't worry, I'll be there soon.
I'll be waiting for you on the carousel.
By the time I got to the park, it grew even darker. The gate was indeed closed, so I had to climb over the fence to get into the park. I found the carousel and I saw Kimberly. She was snoring atop a horse. I sat down next to my sister and I hugged her.
Ruth, you're here!
Of course I am, you little monster. I'm your big sister. I'll always be there for you. We hugged tight. I was sure that this would be the end of it. But then the carousel came to life and started spinning. Kimberly and I turned white as snow. What the heck was going on? Then I saw someone standing by the control panel. It was too dark for me to see their face clearly, but I remembered the talk I'd overheard. For some reason, Andrew and Brenda wanted to teach me a lesson. Had they set up a trap for me? But why would they do that? After a few minutes, the carousel finally stopped. I saw the dark silhouette run toward the roller coaster. Andrew, is that you? What are you up to, you bastard? I took Kimberly's hand and we chased after the silhouette. They jumped into a roller coaster cart and we followed them. Stop! I'm just gonna catch up to you anyway. The silhouette quickly got out of the cart and ran to the control panel. My sister and I couldn't react fast enough and we got stuck in the cart. And then, oh no, this attraction came to life too. I quickly strapped myself and Kimberly in and I squeezed my eyes shut. Hold on tight, Kim. After a few minutes, my sister's screeching suddenly turned into a cheerful laugh. I opened my eyes and I saw that Kimberly was enjoying the ride. I wasn't having fun though. In fact, I was furious. All I wanted was to find that jerk Andrew and make him regret all his life choices. Soon, the ride ended and we finally got out of the cart. I looked around frantically and saw the silhouette by the ice cream shop. Gotcha! I decided to run across the trampolines to get to them faster. I couldn't leave my sister alone, and I was pulling her along. Kimberly started jumping on the trampolines and was clearly no longer worried about anything.
This is so much fun! Ruth, look what I can do!
Oh, grow up, Kim. We need to catch up to Andrew. When we finally got to the shop, there was no one there. Dang it, where did that scoundrel run off to?
I think there's someone by the water slide.
I looked in that direction and I saw the dark silhouette again. We ran up to the attraction. I stopped right before the slide, but Kimberly was running too fast. She accidentally pushed me, and we both went down the water slide and plopped into a huge swimming pool. I was beside myself with anger, but my sister was on cloud 9.
This is awesome! We have a whole amusement park to ourselves!
You're acting like a baby.
And you're acting like a boar!
After that, she started laughing and splashing. Soon, my hair looked like wet spaghetti and all my makeup had been washed off. Something switched on in my head and I started splashing Kimberly back. Oh, is that how you want to play? Take this!
What, is that all you're able to do?
I couldn't remember the last time I'd had so much fun. We splashed around and were laughing like crazy. But then the mysterious silhouette appeared at the edge of the pool again. This time they stood under the streetlight and I could see their face. It was the strange woman I'd seen Andrew and Brenda with at the cafe. Hey, lady, did you do all this? I did, sweetie. You finally chilled out. I got out of the pool, ready to pounce on her. But then, Andrew and Brenda came out of the shadows too. Are you working with this crazy lady? Don't be mad, Ruth. This is my aunt. She owns the amusement park and she agreed to help us. She lured Kimberly here so you'd come running to save her. But why, Andrew? You try to act like an adult so hard. All the makeup, heels, dresses, and you ruined Brenda's birthday all because you were jealous too. I didn't want to invite you to her party because I knew you'd say that it was too boring.
Ruth, I'm not mad about the cake. All we wanted was for you to have fun and remember that you are still a kid.
Andrew came closer to me and looked in my eyes tenderly. You look so beautiful with no makeup on. I turned red as a tomato and decided that this day hadn't been so bad after all. Then I apologized to Brenda for ruining her birthday party, and I thanked them for getting me to come to my senses. I really needed a wake-up call. On the way home, Kimberly surprised me when she took my hand.
Ruth, I don't want to grow up yet.
You're right. We'll have plenty of time to be adults. Let's enjoy what we have now. After such a busy day, we both passed out as soon as we got home. The next morning, our parents came back, saw the mess at home, and grounded us both. But you know what? That didn't bring me down. Sometimes it's nice to just stay at home and play video games with your younger sister.